Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at my Combaticons and Bruiticus. So here are all 5 of the Combaticons in their alt modes, and they look pretty good together. I think they all look like a cohesive group, which is one thing I was trying to do. I tried to make them all the same color, unlike the G1 show. So this is kind of like my own take on the Combaticons. So without further ado, let's do a time lapse of me transforming all of them. So here we are. Here are the Combaticons in robot mode, and I think they all look pretty cool. Some are better than the others because it's hard to make a robot mode look really good at this scale, but I think they're all unique, and I think that's the cool part about it. So let's start off with Onslaught. Here's Onslaught in robot mode. His face is kind of more like a visor, which I think is pretty cool, but he's got cool legs, and he's got these little guns in the back. And if you want, you can kind of make it like a jetpack, which I think is pretty cool. He's pretty articulated, not really, but you can move his arms up and down, you can move his waist, and you can move his legs forward and backward if you like. Then we have Blast Off, and I think he's pretty cool. One of the cool things I did for the transformation is make it to where he transforms with guns, which you will realize in the rest of the builds. I'll also make them transform with guns already on there since they're Combaticons. So yeah, he transforms with dual pistols, which I think is pretty cool. And he can articulate pretty well. You can move his head, I guess, like that. You can move his shoulders up and down. You can move him side to side, and you can move him full 360 like that. And then you can move his legs back and forth like that. So yeah, that's Blast Off for you. So here is Brawl, and he is a brute. He is a brick of a guy. And he's got a little tiny head, which I think is pretty funny. But his arms turn into cannons, which I think is pretty cool. So he's just a brute. That's what he is. You can bend his arms like that. You can 360 them or all the way around. And you can bend here, and you can even kick out his legs if you want, but I'm not going to right now. And so yeah, here is Brawl. And here's Vortex, and he's kind of interesting looking. He was kind of hard to make. So one of his arms turns into the machine gun from the helicopter, and then the other arm turns into the blade from the helicopter, and almost looks like he's carrying a pistol, which I think is pretty cool. And he's just got like a little eye there for his head, and I think he looks pretty cool. He's probably the worst looking one out of all of them. Maybe Blast Off is, but I still like him. He's unique. Now, Swindle is my favorite of the bunch. He's the one I built first, and I meant to build him kind of like a different character, like my own character I was coming up with. But I think he is really cool. I kind of gave him a mohawk with this skate piece, I guess you could call it. And I think that just looks really cool on his head. He's got guns sticking out of the back of him, which I think is really, really cool look. He is pretty well articulated. You can move his arms like that. You can move him side to side. You can move his waist, and you can move his feet like that. And his feet are pretty cool because they're the battering ram of the vehicle, which I think just looks really awesome. So yeah, there's Swindle. Now let's combine these into Bruiticus. So here's everybody in their separate combined modes, and I'll show you how to put it together. Now, the only parts forming is the headpiece, which I think is really cool, and we'll get to that in a minute. So to combine them all, you're going to want to take Brawl here and connect each of the feet, which is Onslaught and Swindle, which varies from the original because Onslaught forms the part that Brawl forms in G1, which I think is cool that I changed up here. And then you're going to want to take Blast Off, and you're just going to want to peg him in right there, just like so. And then you're going to want to take Vortex and put him in as well. Now you're going to want to take the head, and it's just got a clip on the back, and that clips in to Brawl's head right here. Then there we have it. Here is Bruiticus. and he definitely looks interesting. I think he looks more of like a movie kind of vibe, which I think is pretty cool. And that was kind of what I was going for. I was just kind of wanting to build my own version of him. But he can move around pretty well. You can move his shoulders, and you can move the arms up and down. You can move his legs very good, and you can kick the legs out if you need to. And you can kind of do almost like an ankle pivot. If you push those little pins out, you can move from here down like side to side, which I think is pretty cool. So yeah, I really like him. I love the head design I made for him. I think that just looks kind of cool. And I also love how the guns form the shoulders, kind of like the original, I think. And all in all, I'm just really happy with how this build came out. It was just kind of fun to build another combiner and a mini combiner at that. So I just think this is really fun. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.